Welcome back to Trekyards, everyone. Please go to your docking berth, dock in, and enjoy the video. Permission is granted. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Cockington. Get a souvenir on the way. We sell plushies. We sell all sorts of nice things, and you can get literally the entire Eagle Moss collection, like, on every wall. Because we like starships. But that's obviously because of the Eagle Moss booth. You can go to the Aliens booth, or the Orville booth is slightly smaller, but they need to invent more ships. Sorry, Stuart, stop me. I'm going on a tangent of I'm picturing all these things. I was like, oh, that's quite cool.
Stop it. Because we're going to be talking about some post-TNG designs today. We got a space station and some ships docked to it in the last episode of Lower Decks. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, both the station and the ships, and just kind of get a feel for what's going on in the Lower Decks era of Trek.
Because this is one of those things where they use the canon, which we always encourage, but they didn't just stick with it as TNG would have a lot of the time for budgetary reasons, just throw in a miniature that was used in a motion picture, but for an era 100 years ago. So all these designs have been modified and updated to look more appropriate to the modern era they exist in, and so we want to break them down. So obviously the first picture was the overall shot. We saw it in one of the trailers. It looks fantastic. Great redesign of the station, and we'll get into these in a few seconds. The next shot is the ones we're going to look at specifically that are docked. I mean, it ain't rocket science, but which ones are they referencing here, Stuart?
Oh, we got an Andorian cruiser, like we see in Enterprise. Not a Parliament class, is it?
So Centaur, TNG Centaur.
Centaur, there you go. We got a Daedalus class, and we got a Maquis Raider.
The next picture, though, is the space station, which has been a fan favourite for a long time now. It's in the Vanguard novels, and then has been used in multiple media, including a lot of fan films, because all the TOS fan films I work for say, can we use the station? Or have you got it? I'm like, yes, I've used it 3 times before. So here's the space station, which is a fan favourite. And this is a fan model designed by Dave, one of our...
Dave Metlislitz. That's his name. It's hard to pronounce, I know. Sorry.
Great modeler, done a lot of good stuff, and here it is. Now, this is a TOS station and a old TNG station. So the line of which is what is where is who is varied, but it's certainly in the TNG. This is on post-TNG. So what do you think they see them side by side?
Way more similar than I anticipated. I read the Vanguard novels. I've got all of them. I haven't seen the model like this, though. I've seen different shots of it on the book covers and stuff. So when you said it early on, it was similar. I'm like, yeah, it's probably similar, but I didn't know how close. This one, of course, is missing the big balls on the bottom, but it's also added a ring of like a habitat ring around there. So changed a few of the docking berths to be shorter. But other than that, yeah, this is literally the station, which is very impressive. And if you haven't read the Vanguard series of novels, guys, go get them. They're pretty great. Like I said, I have them all, and I really enjoy them. So,
yeah, having worked with the station plenty of times, I'm like, oh, that's just almost a carbon copy. Which, oddly enough, in this one case, I wish they did more differences. I like what they did, and it really is in the subtleties of the window alignment and scaling. I don't think the windows look good on the Vanguard. I never have. I think they look great on the new one. It kind of recanonized the scale, because it's not the same literal station, so it's the real scale. It's giving an Earth space dock vibe to the Vanguard, which is a much smaller station. I do wish it was slightly more different. I do wish they had a bit more Earth space dock elements, which already is quite familiar. Probably mostly with that bottom deflector. I would have done something different there, and probably would have made the berths a little bit less boxy, as like small other additions, and maybe a top docking door visibly open like the Earth space dock. So there's not a ton I would change, but it's very safe. It's very good. I actually really do like the extra ring. It kind of helps to blend everything together in an Earth space dock way, whereas this one feels more segregated. It's amazing how subtlety is subtle but effective, and that's kind of what I pull from it.
Well, you mentioned Earth space dock type door. There is a big white thing there that arguably could be a door that's open, unless that's a really, really, really huge window. I mean, it is lit the same as the other windows, but it could be for like smaller ships, like a shuttle bay of sorts.
Definitely would work for a big shuttle bay, but it's definitely not. I mean, none of the ships in the Armada, obviously that's why they're docked at the berths, could fit in there. It looks more like just a sort of random Greebly. But no, good job, guys. I mean, it's hard to complain and comment when it is so faithfully well done. But speaking of faithfully well done, this is where the challenge comes in, because the next picture is a direct render comparison of these 4 ships, where some you want to be familiar, some you want to be different, and some you're intrigued what the choices are. So here I have tried to match all the different designs. Like you said, you got the Andorian Kamari, you got the Daedalus, you got the Centaur, and you got the Maquis Raider.
Super impressed. Super impressed. The details are incredible that they put into the show. Considering the Daedalus is just a small little couple pixels, one on each side, mind you. There are two.
And
but
I have AI enhance these as part of the Trekyards way we do things. So it's more, they're more detailed than they appear in terms of, like, you'd see the pixels. I've enhanced them, which is very good software, very clever.
Very interesting to see them with the real models here, because the attention to detail the guys do in this show, even the blue glows on the Andorian one, like on the upper pod, there's a little blue glow on the model that's actually drawn.
That's where the engines are.
That's impressive.
And yet, Maquis Raider not so much, but that should be 1-to-1. There's no reason for that to be any different. I like all the differences. The Andorian ship, this is a very, very old design, and it may be existing still as like a civilian ship, but it is not literally the same design. It is the same design, but not literally the same design, meaning there is slight subtle changes, proportion differences, very minimal, but does make it a iterative thing. The Daedalus, of course, I was really excited by this last time, because there definitely won't be any TOS looking ones left, because even the Reliant, etc., had a refit of the nacelles. And so the simple forethought of this team, which is what should be the case of, well, if it exists here, it'll have the red glows and the blue innards. Perfect. And it's got a little bit of pop. A little bit of pop. And the Centaur one, yeah, if you don't realise it's Centaur, you think Parliament class, which is fair, close enough. But once you notice the Centaur detail, for me, this is now their lower deck Centaur, when it's clearly very similar. The details, it's a Centaur saucer with Parliament nacelles. But as a lower decks version, I'm sold.
There was also, though, I want to go to the next picture. There was also a Vulcan ship docked in the station, and everybody that I've seen online is, it was a Trekyard, and it's not. And it really I want to rip my hair out every time I hear it. You can tell it's a much smaller design.
Much smaller.
It's got a cockpit window, for Christ's sakes. Plus, it's also got supporting struts in the middle, which this one doesn't have. I just wanted to point this out. Thank you, Samuel, for including this, by the way, because I've heard a few people refer to it as, there's a Vulcan ship. Yeah, it's a Trekyard. It's like, no, it's not.
But this is the difference between a Trekyards co-host, whose job is to know this stuff, and someone who likes the design and see. It's mostly a Trekyard until you actually put them side by side, and it's actually mostly not a Trekyard. Which
at first glance, it's like, I know that ship, but you don't.
Because I actually thought it was more similar. Not like, I knew the middle stuff was all different, but I thought the shapes were slightly more close. But this is actually a completely different design. It's obviously make a small Trekyard, but every single detail is different. That's brilliant. That I might have to get this built for a fan film, because this is now a canon TNG Vulcan ship, small thing, and it looks very faithful, very good, very familiar, but genuine thought put in. I really appreciate the small, make it different.
And it'd be interesting it'd be easy to get the size of this. You got like I said, you got the cockpit window, you got the doors that they drive cars through, and you see the inside with the two Vulcans. So this is not a big ship. This is in no way the same ships you guys saw on Enterprise that were like big ships. So
yeah, I really like it. It's a really nice Vulcan, new, fresh design, totally new. But exactly what you think it should be. Mwah! Well done. That's how we like to see our ship designed. It just makes sense. And of course, last picture is the whole fleet, because those are the ones to highlight especially. But I mean, Gold Star, Lower Decks team, for putting the effort in. We like our ships, and they give us the plenty.
Mm-hmm. So guys, that's it for our look at the post TNG designs, even though
canon
are older one. I know.
But they're now, this is how they look this era.
But we got Daedalus, we got the Andorian ones, which could be older. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what you thought about this starship design, these designs, as well as the station. And if you're a fan of Vanguard, put that down below too. I want to see. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to notify yourself that we're uploading by clicking that bell notification icon to all. We do a lot of lives, and we do a lot of uploads. And if you want to join the lives and have real-time discussions with us about this kind of stuff, please join us.
Well, you mentioned uploads, and we really do want to cover a lot of the small details in these different shows. You know, putting a face, a vision on their work, the teams that have worked on these shows. Either it's a comparison, a direct, oh my god, a breakdown, even saying, well, this doesn't fit into canon. These things are important to us, and we like to think important to other people as well, those that watch and want to really give this same level of thought that we put in. So if you want to support us to do that, because they're all free, they're all take time, effort, thought, and rendering, support us on those lives, like you said, by super chatting. That is a really, really fun way of doing it. Join the channel via the membership system. Again, that's a monthly system that really is good. More than you think, so it helps out, and there's tiers for that. Or the Patreon, any amount, even $1. It's not that helpful, but it does help. It helps. Of course, all the other things down below. Look at the links. There's shirts, there's merchandise, all sorts of cool things. It all helps. Support Trekyards if you want to see us do more things into our 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th year. Goodness.
That's right. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Combs.
See you later.
Bye, guys.